Hey guys, what's up? This is Hans the Great, and welcome to my PowerPoint presentation for my video blog entry for the NL20 stake report. I decided to make a PowerPoint presentation about the topic poker room. Basically, a lot of people approached me and asked, "Hey Hans, what do you think about this side? Should I switch there? Do you think this side might be better, etc.?" Because Animal 20 is most likely the limit where you can start earning some pocket money. Um, for in some country, even like a normal pay, like a normal salary. So I think people get more into maybe clearing bonuses, probably finding the best poker room with also giving them the best VIP system. So I thought I in general might give you my advice, since I played basically I think on all poker rooms that pretty much exist, besides I think Boss Media I think I didn't play, and Sky Poker Bovada I think I didn't play, but basically I played like on a lot of sites. So this is sort of my advice. We're as well going to go over a comparison. What, for example, a Zoom Tunnel 25 player should really think about if he wants to switch, for example, to iPoker and play Speed NL20 there. So let's start right into the action, and I guess let's begin the league finder, finding the plus EV poker room. So, facts to be considered while choosing a poker room are the following. I divide them into two categories. Measurable facts. Facts have been simply calculated through numbers in a certain equation. That's win rate, rake. By the way, all information about rake, you can find at rakeback.com, since a lot of people ask me about rake. Volume, or other people like to maybe use hours put in the game. I will put volume. Rakeback percentages and additional incomes, promotions, some random deposit bonuses, or like the possibility of earning some cash back through Skrill deposits. Anyway, that's about the measurable facts. There are non-measurable facts. This is the player pool. I mean, it's not possible to rate like a player pool in BBs per 100. It's like really hard. So the traffic as well is kind of harder, but I think customer support as well, and I think customer support is something that you really want to take in consideration. Sometimes forgotten by people a lot, but I think it's still worth a couple of dollars to have like very good customer support that you can rely on. And the software, of course, and the software cannot be really like shown in BBs per 100, but you're gonna see later that it can influence the hourly, definitely. So that being said, these are the facts to be considered while choosing a poker room. I hope I didn't forget anything, so I guess we can start going over the poker rooms. I think you all know these are, no, I guess, the biggest and most famous poker room. Sorry, not the biggest. I think for cash currently, 888 poker is stronger. But yeah, anyway, what I want to say, I think PokerStars, we all know. I just kind of feel like PokerStars, the PokerStars web system is like really made towards players who put a lot of volume. It's simply not really favorable for micro stakes player in general, I think, unless they're like grinding like madman. So yeah, we're gonna see later how much does an N25 player need to rake in order to get supernova basic status. So in general it's very good because the rake is low on PokerStats, but still, I mean, if it on N25, I think there are possibly better options. That's one of my favorite sites, Full Tilt Poker. I think. I mean, the cons, the rake. I mean, it's not the highest. I mean, it's not the lowest. It's like middleish. And if you take a spectrum of all poker rooms, after rakeatpoker.com. And yeah, and what I notice, there's a certain possibility that traffic issues might come up if you're like playing from in certain time zones or certain periods of the day. You might not find enough action on certain limits or certain formats. Um, but in general, their VIP system is definitely very good for micro and low stakes players. iPoker, I cannot really say much really about iPoker besides you can find really good rakeback percentages, and I think the biggest pros of iPoker is actually that you can make some additional money through Skrill cashback. I mean, um, you have incredibly high deposit limits, and you can really abuse it insanely. Um, um, while the cons are pretty, I wouldn't say tough, but there are like definitely um, something that the other two do not really have, and that's like player pool. The player pool is definitely really tough there. It's understandable because iPoker gives a lot of good rakeback um, percentages out, so the competition is really tough. Depending on the time zone and your playing abilities, I mean, the disposal of the time when you want to play, possible traffic issues might appear. Um, and I find the software not really reliable because I think it's kind of frustrating when you play a session and you have the nuts and the software kicks you out and doesn't even bring you back to the table. You feel like, what the fuck? I mean, you feel like the software stole you, I don't know, $100 doesn't mean $50. I mean, for me, it was like one time really shitty. I mean, the software kicked me out. Well, I have, I think, a full house, and we were like 200 the big blinds deep, and I guess I was already invested half of my stack, had just pressed the button call, and all of a sudden, bam, and there it comes, has to kick you out. I mean, like, it doesn't get too often, but yeah. And also, I think I had a couple of times when I couldn't log in, and one of it was like Sunday peak time, and I mean, Jesus, it was just frustrating. Anyway, let's move on to the next three sites. Pacific Network is definitely something that people should look out. It's growing in terms of cash games. I don't know for SNGs, but it's currently the third biggest cash game network in terms of players. And I find the software really good. The traffic is also kind of good, especially if you like to play a session in the morning. I'm talking about Europe, about this, set time, because Central European time, because it's also really good advertised in Australia. So there are a lot of Australian people playing. So definitely very good. The other part, what I like about 888 Poker is that a lot of grinders left the site because it has a pretty bad VIP system that gives you like a very low rake back percentages, and while paying a really high rake. And on top of that, you the rake is really high, so it kind of made a lot of grinders leaving the site, while at the same time, since he's increasing, a lot of recreational players are there, and it's definitely one of the, my opinion, currently one of the most juicy comp sites. Party Poker, once the biggest operator, now just on the downswing, I would say, but yeah. Of course, the pros is, in my opinion, the player pool for the same reason as Pacific Poker Network. They just lowered the VIP system where you get like really, really low rake back percentages. I think it's up to 30 currently, and you have like to rake a ton. And basically, on the other issue is that, again, if you want to play your sessions in the morning or for a different part of the world, you might experience some traffic issues from, again. On game, I'm not really a fan of on game. Also, I think player was pretty okayish, I have to say. You can find really solid rakeback percentages, and In general, it's an okay side. I mean, I'm not in love. It's kind of get used to it because it doesn't have outer buy. The rig is kind of on the higher side. The software is like kind of outdated. Again, it's an European site, so the same issues with party poker. I mean, in general, possible traffic issues. I mean, and there's one room left, and that's my advice. Frequently, my tip that I give generally people. Because I think the site might be a little bit underrated, but I like the principle. I once wrote in one of my blogs a review about the sites. I think is doing a very good job with the way he's marketing himself, and I think that's a lot of. I think I sent two people. I advised them to go there, and both stayed there. Do not even think about moving, because they're making like really decent money, especially on NL50 and NL100. The games are just really juicy. The point is, PKR works in a system that attracts a lot of recreational players because it works like Sims. I mean, it's a 3D graphics. You can do stuff with chips, order, I don't know, something to drink, blah blah blah. It looks like Sims. It looks like a video game. So a lot of, and you can like characterize your profile, like create your own character, dress him, I don't know, whatever. It's just, I think people like doing that. Also, you get like a really solid rakeback with, especially with promos, you can push it up. And as said, the player pool is um, really juicy. I mean, and the nice part also is that, for example, if you're an L50 player, you can much easily take shots in NL100 because, or like NL25 and playing NL50, because there are a lot of racks playing multiple stakes. So, for example, you kind of know the guy and he's playing just one limit above you. Doesn't matter if you think how the fuck is that possible. You didn't think he has the skill, but the other point is you just simply can move up through stakes much easily if you are comfortable to, of course. I mean, if you like to stay at NL50, stay at NL50. It's just that since you know player, it's not like you move up and face all new racks like on stars or something. So yeah, definitely worth. The cons is are again traffic issues. I mean, as all European sites, and of course it gets really time to get used to the software. I mean, in the beginning, especially, I mean, I played the 2D version. In the beginning, it's like confusing. You can't really multi-table, but with time, it takes a couple of days, and then you get used, and you can fire sessions normally. Um, I can just recommend this site. Very juicy. Take advantage of it, I guess, and yeah. Hopefully, I didn't pick the wrong tip. Anyway, here we come to the comparison part, where I compared that PokerStars NL25 Zoom players switches to iPoker NL20 speed. What sort of win rate does he have to achieve since he gets a better rakeback deal or rakeback percentage? So let's see what PokerStars NL25 Zoom player. The data is, of course, collected from the official PokerStars site. As you can see, volume needed NL25 is like 800 hands to reach Supernova, and the estimated word is about 30% rakeback. So just not make it really long. I mean, I can go through all these numbers. I mean, it's possible that I made some miscalculation. I really can't stand behind this 100%, so take this with a piece of salt. Basically, I took that the PokerStars L25 Zoom player has the 4BB per 100 pin. I know it's kind of exaggerated because I guess he would move up to NL50, but let's say it this way, just an example. And basically, he would win in 1 year. He would win in 1 year about $13K through Supernova status and through winnings. If he holds that volume, 800K hands, 4BB win rate, plus rakeback, $13K hand, $38. Also, what is pretty important to know that approximate hours needed for full tabling Zoom. After PokerStars, you get 1K hands per hour on Zoom. I don't know if that's correct, honestly. I can't really confirm because I play way more small blinds, so cannot really confirm that. But yeah, let's believe it. So we get like 1K hands per hour. So we would need 800 hours to complete this challenge, and we get an hourly of $16.40, which seems okay for an L25 player. I have to admit, not bad. In some, for example, in my country, that's like top-notch salary. But yeah. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, let's say that this guy now wants to move to NL20 speed iPoker. So we put the same amount of hands. We get the. I set the deal at 50% rakeback. It doesn't really matter. You might find better or worse. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I just put 50, just for an example. The rake is kind of higher, and the rake is from my own sample. So what we can see is that during this period we would earn from rakeback $9,056, but we would need for the same volume 200 hours more because the software is slower. I mean, they improved it, but I still think it's kind of slower. And from my experience, after playing really a lot on speed, I think I get from 4 tabling 800 hands per hour. But yeah, so as you can see, you would need for same volume 200 hours more, just to keep that in mind. Okay, and here is the conclusion. Basically, there's a difference in rake that we pay between iPoker and PokerStars. We pay 0.2 BB per 100 more on iPoker. So no matter what, no matter we get actually a better deal, we just pay a bigger winner. Of course, if you get a better deal, that's a different story. But let's say in our example, so I have to add this to 0.2 BB per 100 to my win rate that I need to achieve. So the overall win rate needed at PokerStars, as you can see, the red number is 2.73 BB per 100. So basically, an NL25 Zoom player with 4 BB per 100 that gets Supernova can have a win rate on iPoker. Can have win rate on iPoker about 2.73 BB per 100 with a 50% rakeback deal. So it's a win rate. You can drop your win rate about 1 BB in order to earn the same amount of money. So, but the hourly, due to the software, becomes smaller, becomes lower, about $3. So basically, if you can push your win rate for about 25% more, which is approximately 3.41 BB per 100, 3.4 no matter, you achieve the same hourly as Supernova, but you earn more money than reaching Supernova. And you can still have a smaller win rate. I mean, it's 0.6, but the difference between Zoom and iPoker, but over this sample, this is a lot of money. I mean, guys, this is really a very decent amount of money. At least, I guess, in most countries. In some countries, it's not going to be, but I guess in my country, it's still going to come up with a decent amount of money. So, as you can see, a rakeback deal gives you the chance to have a lower win rate, but at the same time, still earning the same amount of money as on the site before. So basically, if you are able to keep, you would earn way more money than on PokerStars. So it's just something that you should really think about. You can do always your calculation on yourself using my example here, but I just wanted to show you a picture that a rakeback deal can come up with can cover a lot of your win rate, because in the end, money is money, and does it come from 4 BBs or a 50% deal? Doesn't really matter. I think unless you're like playing to crush the stakes, that's a different topic. But for someone who thinks about making some money, then I guess this is probably something that should think about. I hope I expressed myself clear. Um, you can leave a comment in the comment box below if you don't really understood something. I will try to explain. If not, you can contact me on the following email. As you can see, you can contact me on this email, hansthegreatmonkey.bestpokercoachingmonkey@gmail.com. Anyway, since we're at the end of this video, I will also announce the next video. I will have a small coaching hand history video where one candidate will choose 5 hands of his choice and send it over. The candidate will be chosen randomly. Anyone can apply. From limits NL2 to NL50 are acceptable, and I think I can judge these limits fairly good. If you want to take part, all you have to do is just send an email at, again, hansthegreat.bestpokercoachingmonkey@gmail.com with the title coaching video. And to make this even more interesting, I will have a co-host. And as you can see on the graph below, he's really crushing the stakes in a pretty tough competition. This graph is from NL100 speed. So he will definitely be a good co-host, I guess, and can give some really valid thoughts about the hand. So I guess take part, good luck at the tables, and bye-bye.